What's happening, Canes fam? What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Saturday, unhappy Saturday, depending on how we're feeling. We are going to get into it. I would ask how everyone's day is going, but I feel like I know the answer to that to start this one off. Welcome to Chalupa and Friends, the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. We do these for every Miami Hurricanes game. The Miami Hurricanes are currently down 10-6. It's been a mixed bag in the first half. I'd say the defense has shown up the way the defense usually has this year. Guys like Maui Noah looking great. James Williams balling. Cam Kinchen's balling. Some injuries in the secondary so far. Some offensive struggles again, but we will get into that. But this is called Chalupa and Friends for a reason, because it's not just me. It's me and my buddies. So my first buddy joining me is one of the realest to ever do it. One of the co-hosts of the Miami Mayhem show on the Miami Flow network on YouTube. And if you are a Canes fan or a Canes media fan, you know about the Miami Mayhem show and you know about my guy, Ayo. I would give a more spicy, but this is I felt the energy off camera. I knew this isn't a you know, me and you get goofy. This isn't a goofy moment right now. This isn't I feel like you feel how I feel at this moment. You know what I'm saying? The Straw Hat song, you mean business. How we feeling so far, bro?
Goofy is what I'd call TVD's performance so far. I mean, it's I don't want to ever go after players, but man, like, it's just the reads. Like, the reads it's either an air ball going over a head or it's underthrown. It's you're in the last seconds and you can start pushing the ball down. You get all the time. You know they're going to throw 8 back and only rush 3 at you. You have all day. And you throw a check down to a tight end who can't catch a ball more than 1 yard. I mean, it's just the little things that have been adding up. And I don't know. I feel like this game could easily be 21-10 or even us more without giving them any kind of point at this point. I mean, that first touchdown was solid, but we should be dominating this game. I mean, it's just hard to watch that the offense is being struggled by TVD.
I feel like it's the same story again this week, but again, this is called Chalupa and Friends. My second guest on today's episode, my co-host on the You Heard Pod. Y'all know him as Angry Joe, but today this is just real Joe. No cherries today. I got water. Welcome, my guy. Joe
I'm not
Williams.
angry.
Joe,
I'm not angry.
how we feeling, Joe?
Man, it's halftime. Hopefully some adjustments get made and we finish this thing off, man. Hopefully.
So let's get into it. Running the football with some success so far. Fletcher averaging 4.7. The quarterback is struggling. Again this week.
Yeah.
How do we get him on?
We were moving the ball. RPOs, screens. We were moving the ball, man. But mistakes in the red zone, the pick. Guy was wide open. He just underthrew him. Shooting ourselves in the foot, man. Again. So, I think we continue doing what we're doing with the RPO game and the screen game. Try to just, when we get in the red zone, run the ball, man. Forget that throwing, just run the ball in the red zone.
Yeah, I think you got to say unpredictable.
Is that on your end, Joe? The echo?
I can hear on Joe's.
You hear it? You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. But it did look like some of the concepts were working. Like, I do like some of the play calls. That wheel route to Brashard, I like that. I like the third down call on the slant to Jacoby. Just the execution hasn't been there, but I do feel like Dawson has been calling a good game so far. But my last and final guest, the fourth guest, the legendary, the GOAT of film review. When it comes to anybody that does it, they all try to do it like this man. Coach Hayes, welcome to the Chalupa and Friends halftime live stream. The GOAT!
What's up, fellas? What's going on, man? I'm on my phone right now because we in the champagne room back there. We watching the game. What's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
I'm
Can you hear me?
How you feeling about the first half? Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm hot, dog. I'm hot. We not making points, bro. Like, we getting opportunities.
Too many field goals, man.
Yep.
I think he bounced out.
Yeah.
He got the link though, so he'll be back. Coach Hayes will be back.
Yeah, Coach has been dealing with choppy internet all day today. We watched the show earlier.
So the really, to me, the story of the first half has been we just can't keep settling for field goals.
Right.
Like we just got to convert in the red zone. I think the defensive game plan has been solid. We've lost discipline a few times and it's burnt us, but I feel like we are playing Hurricane football. We are playing the same style of football we've been playing that's been successful. The difference is we are not converting on offense. The third down efficiency lately in the past couple of weeks and the red zone deficiency, we can't keep settling for three, man. And you gotta bail this defense out sometimes. You can't keep putting them in these situations where they have to bend but don't break constantly. You are wearing down our strength, which is our pass rush. You're wearing down the big guys.
Yeah, I agree.
Which I got.
I agree.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got cut off. It cut out on me. Hopefully you guys can hear me, man. Because
we can hear you.
Yeah, I was just saying that. Like I said, we're not scoring points, right? They scoring touchdowns. We scoring field goals in that sense. But our defense is playing. I have to be honest with you. They're playing well. We're making they could have easily scored on that fumble. They end up with a field goal. But defense is going to wear down eventually, dog. Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, we already got a couple of injuries on the defense already. So,
So that was my next point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that echo back, Joe. This is a chaos stream. we have
We have this is
I'm on my phone. That's my fault. I'm sorry about that.
like here's my question. What can be done? You know what I mean on the offensive side? Like we talked about this on You Heard this week. We talked about what will it take to make TVD comfortable. I thought let's throw some slants, let's throw some hitches. We've actually seen Dawson try that. But he's still not looking like he's quite in rhythm yet. Ayo, right. What do you think needs to be done? I mean, I think the squad's gonna roll with 9 until the wheels fall off. I think that's apparent. But so we gotta figure this thing out. You know, what do you think needs to be done here in this second half to get 9 on rhythm? He just does not look like he's been in rhythm in the past few weeks.
Unfortunately, this is the wheels falling off. I feel like you've seen the progressive checkdowns just not work. I mean, it's not just about a checkdown. It's being able to read an offense, read a defense, know what your receivers are doing, make adjustments in a huddle, not just read it and go to the line, not know if your line is settled, and just call a play. You know, it's so robotic at this point. It almost looks like I'm watching like an intramural kid try to run a offense and think they know what they're doing. It's hard to watch because you're almost like pull him out because it's not because of he can't play or can play. It's I don't think he's comfortable there. You know, where you're like, hey, just get him out for a while, roll him out, let him be comfortable on the sideline for a while. But I feel like you hit it on the head. They've been unpredictable. You know, they ran the slants, they ran the RPO, you ran to the tight end, you got some balls to Jacoby, you got some balls to everyone you needed to. So you're not just going to X. We get it. But you still look incredibly uncomfortable just trying to pat the ball 6 times. You're unsure, and you're forcing it to whoever you're going to throw to. Whoever that ball is going to go to, you're already looking at him. If you watch the RPO when they did the instant replay, he literally stared at George the whole time. And it was like, I'm not even going to look at the defense. I have no idea what's going to happen to this running back. He could legitimately be no one there. But I'm going to hit him right here. And it didn't work on the second try because they literally had a dude jump up in the air and bat it down. But it's just he's not reading it. And one person put it in the comments, one read TVD. And it's not even a read. It's I'm going to read this play, and that's where I'm going to go.
It's his pre-snap read. It's almost like he trusts that pre-snap read too much sometimes.
Well, and that's where all it is.
It's sometimes I feel like the best way to scheme against TVD is to run like a complex, like a 3-3-5 stack like this, where you can run zone blitzes and you can disguise your coverages, because it really does feel like his issue isn't necessarily that he doesn't make reads, it's that he trusts the pre-snap read probably like indefinitely sometimes. It almost feels like it's like I know this play is drawn up like that's one, but there is something to one not being open, looking him off, or for sake, if you know you're going one, open up and bait the safety. You know what I mean? Look one DB off. Just look, I'll give you one defensive back off.
I'm gonna give you one that I've been watching the last couple games on TV, and I'll give you this. Do you notice the times that he makes the most air is after he makes the read, right? Everybody's at the line. If they do a last second adjustment, he throws the ball into double coverage and to interceptions. Once he has that initial read, that initial go out and look around, he never looks back at the line. So right when he looks back down, that's when they do the last second adjustment, re-show their coverage, and boom, he never saw. When everybody's like, well, he looks like he didn't even see him. He didn't. He never even looked over there. His eyes never went back up. It blows my mind. This is our quarterback for 3 years. And we're literally looking at him like, wait, we're thinking about pulling you out for a fresh first year, 1 game starter. That shouldn't be happening to a third-year player like this. So that's my question with it
that
is,
be the
why
narrative,
not?
right?
Hold on.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think any of us thought going into the year we'd have that narrative. I think we were like, okay, how would corner look? Is the offensive line going to gel?
Right.
Are the receivers going to show up this year? I think we had so many questions. I don't think any of hey, like how many times were you asked for an opinion or what's the offensive strength? So you start having to dig in your brain
Right.
the more spring progressed to try to find new answers, and the answer was never 9. And
Well,
no matter how deep you dug,
Right.
there has to be something, right? There has to be some connection between A&M and what we're seeing now. I don't know what it is or how we get 9 closer, if not back to A&M. I'm not sure what it is, but there has to be. I'm sure Dawson's working. We're seeing a different
Right.
style of Dawson's play calling tonight. So I think he is trying to find what
Something.
makes 9 comfortable.
And and for the guys in the chat, like something we talk about on our show is quite often like the stuff off the field. And to me, the thing I've been harking on with TVD for the last 3 seasons, ever since we started the show, is continuity. The thing that really got me down with him was, and I give or take whatever people want to say about Gaddis, it is what it is. But the fact that Gaddis came out and said that TVD didn't have any of the receivers' phone numbers still gets me, because it's like, I need you becoming a well-oiled machine. And remember in the summer this year, they're like, oh, we do this on Saturdays. We do this and we do that, right? Why does it look like when Colby Young came off the field after the ball was underthrown or overthrown on one of the first series, he just walked off and just went straight to the right. Everybody else going straight to the left. TVD goes right up to the sideline. A few coaches say something to him. There's no response from him. He just turns around, looks at the scoreboard, and gives a clap. That's not a QB to me. Because don't get me wrong, it's not the tangibles he has. It's not the arm strength. It's not the cannon. It's not the accuracy. It's not the first, draft pick. It's not that bullshit. To me, a quarterback is a guy who can walk into a huddle and people are going to want to surround themselves by that guy. That who you go into battle with every 4 quarters. And that makes your offense pick themselves up. NC State doesn't have the roster that we have, right? So why the fuck are they in a dogfight with us? It's because they have quarterbacks who can rally that around them. Every ACC team that's elite right now has a quarterback who is rallying their troops. We're missing that. It's not about the arm strength or the talent. It's about the intangible, that the leadership skill, the whatever people want to call it. It's, hey, if I make an overthrow on you, yeah, I need to run up to you and be like, hey, between me and you, like, either you ran that wrong or I threw that wrong. Let's talk real quick. Our guys don't do that at all. One's over here, one's over there. That's the shit I'm talking about. Is I don't like that. The communication needs to pick up from that. Emory might be who talks.
I think that's that. And I think a lot of people's argument to that is, all quarterbacks don't have to be fiery. But when you look at the essence of what makes the Miami Hurricanes, right, you can say Dorsey wasn't swaggy or he wasn't that, but right, Dorsey was fiery. But Dorsey commanded perfection. He commanded accountability. You know what I'm saying?
Dorsey ran up on you, though. You know what I mean? Like, as soon as you guys went to the sideline, he was on you.
I think that's when people say, okay, well, every quarterback doesn't have to be like that. Yeah, but we know what works for the mold of what a Miami Hurricane winning culture looks like. And what that looks like is usually a fiery quarterback. And I think that's so, because that's usually what the response is. Because I say the same thing. Sometimes I want my guy to Matthew Stafford. I want him to come to the sideline and be rah-rah. And people always say, well, CB, everyone's not like that. I get it. I played the game. I played with guys who led quietly. But some team's entity is not quiet leader.
Right.
The Miami Hurricanes entity is that engine is not fueled by quiet leaders.
Correct.
Look at the pantheon of greats. Look at the leaders. They're very loud. They're very vocal. They still are to this day.
Right.
And I think that's why people are like, why does that energy, why is it demanded and expected from everybody but the quarterback? And I think for those that push back on what AO is explaining, that's why Canes fans feel that way. It's not that every quarterback needs to be screaming. It's the attitude, the bravado, the swagger that you expect from someone who puts on one of these. So I think that's why a quiet leader doesn't work in the eyes of the fan, doesn't work in the eyes of the recipe for winning for Miami, because that's not our fucking recipe. Our recipe is it's I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. So I think when people want to see that fire out of the quarterback, understand that what they're asking for is what we've seen works here.
Correct.
That's what we're asking for. But
and I don't think it's so much of the yelling part. I think people get fiery and yelling in the same category. When I say I want a strong leader, I want someone who, okay, so we have a freshman out there, right? So let's say I'm just going to put someone else in context, right? Let's say we have Penix from Washington, right? And he overthrows or underthrows or hits Riley Williams in the chest, right? Riley drops the ball, third down. Now it's 3rd and 15. Riley's smacking you can see his head's down. Penix on that team would have ran up to him and said, hey, either don't worry about it or, hey, I need you to take 2 more steps to the right, so that ball should hit you right in the chest. Don't worry about it. We'll got it next time. That's
coming right back at you.
That's what I'm talking about in a leader. I don't need you to yell over the sideline and I don't need you to do all that. I'm not saying be the center of attention. I'm saying I need you to be the vocal coach for everyone on that field. If you know what everybody is doing, then you have to communicate what you want. If that ball is overthrown or underthrown, you need to go let that receiver know, hey, that's on me. Because that receiver is going to be like, well, shit, maybe I ran the route wrong. So guess what they're going to do on the next play? They're going to undercut it, and now you just overthrew it. So now you're not on the same page at all. So that's what I'm talking about with a leader is in that quarterback position is someone who is going to go and say exactly what they want. I'm just going to say it. He's a robot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to bing. It's almost like the jug machine. You program it, it throws it. Your ass
want an
wasn't there,
extension of the offensive coordinator out there. That's what you want? When you see successful quarterbacks, no matter what level it is, whether it's the head coach or the offensive coordinator, whoever is the offensive mind on the team, you almost see a melding of the two to where the quarterback becomes an extension of the OC on the field. So, but something I like to do before we get back into halftime, before we get back into this game, is I usually like to assign an OC and a DC to my friends that join me. Since we spent a lot of time on offense, though, we will spend this closing moments on the defense. If you're Coach Guidry, what are some of the things you're saying in the locker room, or what some adjustments you may make coming out here in halftime?
Really, I might be keeping Flag off the field for the rest of the game. I really feel like I think he makes great reads, but I really would like to continue to see Basaint's speed and Nico. I'd like to see those two in there more, because as they're going to do these misdirections, you need to have their speed to make those cuts. Flag is getting caught in one lane because he thinks he reads it correctly, which he does, but it's misdirection. So it's counting on you to be where you're exactly at so they can go the other direction. Then he gets caught in the pass block, and then all of a sudden there's a lane for them just to run. So if I'm defense, love you, Flag, but you're got to be out the 3rd and the 4th.
Yeah, just kind of rely on those speedier sideline to sideline linebackers for the rest of this. And it's obviously what we're built around too. We've got that variety in the linebacker room, which you love to see right now. So you saw the previous couple games, it was a flag kind of situation, but that's why you got the versatility, because now you're seeing, okay, we need length here and we need sideline to sideline speed. So I like that adjustment. And in the secondary, honestly, I think guys just got to step up a little bit. We got a couple guys banged up. Damari, We believe in you. You know what I'm saying? We all know you were CB1 of the class anyway, so ain't nobody worried about 6 being out there. Like, we know the Brown brothers are gonna handle business. But it's game time. Shout out to my guests that came and hung out. Everybody's links are in the description, their Twitters and their YouTube. Go follow them. Man, hey, let's turn this thing around. Let's get us a W. We got a big one next week. Let's close this thing out. Thank you to everyone that came and hung out. Let's enjoy this second half. TVD gonna turn it around. 2 passing touchdowns, and we coming away with the win. Shout out to AO for joining me. Shout out to Coach Hayes and Joe. We out.
See y'all Thursday.